For this fifth part of my series on trotting, I'm just going to do a bit of trotting on some deep water. I'm on the Hampshire Avon near Winkton. I've chosen a nice big float. I'll show you this float. Here's the float. It takes about 6 grams. And we've got a great big olivette, 4.5 gram olivette there with some shot below it. 15 inches below, a mini bulk of a couple of number 6s and a number 8, and then a hook length with an 18 with a couple of number 8s, of droppers. And I'm going to start off fishing around about 12 foot deep. Need to plumb it out there yet, and fish with maggots. I've dug out a disgorger, just putting a 1/2 ounce plummet on there, just going to get a feel for how deep it is, and that float is set about 12 foot deep. It's certainly deep down there. It's just sunk out of sight there. Another. So this swim now, we're at weeds. That float is now set to about 13 foot deep. A couple of maggots on there. This swim has already been fished by someone earlier today, and whether it's going to be any good I don't know, but I'm going to give it a go. There's an upstream wind and it's all right. First cast, we've caught a tiddler, a little tiny dace, and I think I'm going to have to go out into the main current to avoid those. With the wind, I'm just holding this back, just easing it through. We've got a slightly bigger dace this time. Lots of fish out there. And still a tiddler. Because I know it's so deep here, I've actually got a 14 foot rod, not a 13. So when I said it was 13 foot deep, it's actually 14 foot deep. And that extra length makes a difference on the Avon, but of course with a longer rod they weigh more, different action. I still prefer 13, but this is a Preston carbon active sentient. Just keeping my finger on the spool there, just feeding a little bit. The wind's making it very easy. There's lots of fish out there, but they're not very big. And I'm sure there's much bigger out there. A little roach. Switch to a 16 now. Have a go with a tear, see if that makes a difference. That bite was on a tear, which is interesting. It's a better fish than I've been getting. When the light goes, I might switch to breadflake, but for the moment, we'll try tears. Still getting lots of little knocks off the small dace. Not quite sure what this is at the moment. It could be a roach. It's a super Avon roach, just a job. just about £1. Very nice. Well, that's better than I expected. Lovely. When you're fishing in the deep water, be bold. Don't hesitate to use that weight. The hardest bit, I think, is finding the right floats nowadays. I did some searches, and topper Haskin type floats are few and far between nowadays. I make my own, which is an advantage. They're not hard to make, and I did a video on it, but you certainly find it hard to buy them. The wind has picked up a little bit at the moment. It's holding it back quite a lot, but I'm getting the odd quite fast bites. They're taking the tears. And I think somewhere out there there's a big fish. And that took the tear. I don't think it's very big. A small dace or a roach. It's just a modest dace. A big one, but it's a roach. Going right across the river now, shull it up a little bit. There's some roach over there. I missed the bite just now where the hook came off, which is a bit weird. Been an interesting session. I've had 5 roach, some on bread, some on tears, and a couple of small ones on maggots, quite a few dace, mostly tiny ones on maggots, and then some better ones on bread and tears. There's good fish out there. Whether I'll get one before the light goes completely, I don't know. The sun's almost setting now, and I don't know what sort of light we'll get for the camera in a minute, but I hope you've enjoyed this. Very challenging fishing. I'm fishing way across the Avon in anything between 10 and about 13 foot of water with a big heavy float, but the float's bossing the current, and the wind's very favourable. When the wind blows straight down the river here, it's nearly impossible, but don't be afraid to use that weight. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and until next time, cheerio for now.